Well, hi there. Welcome back. It's time to spend a little one-on-one time with your buddy Tim. How you been? How was your week? Yeah, I know it's been a while since I've talked to you. Kind of some crazy scheduling things have come up, so hopefully we can get that all squared away and get back to doing what we do best. Talking about stupid stuff. So anyway, like I say, hope you had a good week. How was your zombie day? Hope you ate a lot of chocolate eggs and stuffed yourself with some ham and had a good day. So I just wanted to start this episode and talk about the recent string of reboots. Another rebooted show had come up on Hulu that everybody was up in arms about, and I never watched it because, well, I really didn't care about the original run of it. This show is the Malcolm in the Middle show, which I'm not going to talk about too long because, like I say, that show, the first run, I could really give a shit about. I did not like it. The mother of that show basically reminded me of my mom, and I didn't really want to watch it on a TV show. I found no entertainment value in that, so I heard they're rebooting it, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. The reboot I wanted to talk about was came out sometime last year. I don't remember. I was looking forward to it when it came out, and that is the King of the Hill reboot. I really enjoyed the original run of King of the Hill, and I don't know. For me personally, reboots I don't know. Once the show runs its course, it concludes. I'm pretty much okay with it finishing and being done, and we can move on with our life. And it was a good run and everything, and nothing sums it up better than the Futurama, which I don't know. I enjoyed the Futurama when it's first run. Never really got into the reruns. They did a finale. I think I checked out at that point, so I didn't really watch it, and they brought it back, and it was on Comedy Central, and I was kind of stoked. Watched a couple episodes, and then it was just like, whatever. Then they canceled it again, and then they brought it back again on Hulu. I think they brought it back a couple times, actually. Now that I think about it, like 3 or 4 times, and each time it was being brought back, I just didn't care. I was just like, whatever. So, like I say, having said that, they were doing the King of the Hill, and as I had mentioned, I was a pretty big King of the Hill fan, and I don't think I was excited, but I was interested, and so when Hulu released all the episodes, I wouldn't say eager. I mean, I was curious. There we go, curious about what it would be, and watched the first episode, and was like, whatever. I think I made it like 3 episodes in before I just had to turn it off. I just did not care. I don't know. I've been meaning to go back and finish it, but I just haven't had the desire to do that. And so I don't know. I don't, like I say, when a show's done, just finish it. Don't bring it back. I mean, and I know why they bring it back, because we the content we have now is so thin. The ideas are so sparse that they have to blow the dust off of old successful IPs and give them another go. And I guess they rebooted the TV show Scrubs, which I enjoyed that, but I didn't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna watch it. If I want to watch Scrubs, I'll watch the original run of Scrubs, because that was, I don't know, that was Scrubs to me. I mean, this reboot could be great. It could be the funniest stuff in the world, but I have no desire to see it. But which got me thinking. It's kind of funny because One show that would have done really well as a reboot would have been The Simpsons, but as we all know, The Simpsons hasn't gone off the air. Now, had it gone off the air 10, 15 years ago, we could have rebooted it. We could have got a new Simpsons series, could have got great episodes, but no, they had to keep that going, and it's still going to this day. And it's just kind of like, okay, we can finish this now. There's really nothing left to do Simpsons wise. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched The Simpsons for 15 years, 12, 15 years, something like that, which is kind of crazy to think because that show came on when I was still in high school. And I've been out of high school now for many, many, many years. And that show is still on, which, if you all know that they have announced a Simpsons movie sequel, I believe it's next year. And it's kind of like, unless they bring back like Hank Scorpio or something to have some sort of, bad guy storyline or whatever, supervillain, there we go, that's what I'm looking for, supervillain storyline to throw Springfield into the throes of chaos, then whatever. I mean, the first Simpsons movie was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but it was enjoyable, it's kind of funny because when that movie came out, I hadn't seen the show for years, and then watched the movie, and it was a good time. It was funny. It's funny parts, I should say. It wasn't like hilarious or anything, but so watched that, and then never really watched the show again. And then they announced last year, oh yeah, we're gonna make a Simpsons 2. Like, okay, well, don't think I'll see it in the theater. I think my theater going days are pretty much over, unless it's something that it's very intriguing to me that I want to see. I'm not just going to go fork out $50 to go see a movie, and that's just if I go by myself. I know Spaceballs 2 is kind of getting the big release. I saw an advertisement. I saw the trailer was on YouTube. I didn't watch the video because, again, that's just that's another, I don't know, reboots, maybe not the correct term, but it's a long-awaited sequel. I don't really care about long-awaited sequels, which, it could be the greatest movie in the world. It could be the funniest movie in the last 30 years, but I want to wait to catch it somewhere free on one of the streaming services we have. But as far as going to the theater, I think I'm going to skip that one, but I don't know. That's just something I just keep seeing, coming up. The reboot this, we're redoing that, season 2 of this, and season 4 of that. Remember the Connors? Well, here's another show. And, you loved King of the Hill, so here's the King of the Hill. And Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, you want to see what those guys are doing. Not really. His brothers were all goofballs as kids. I don't want to see them being goofballs as adults. Not to mention one of the brothers, I forget the name. I mean, I had watched that show since it originally came out. So like I said, I never watched the reruns. Well, I didn't even really watch I watched seasons or episodes, I guess, of that show. And one of his brothers was just dumb as shit. And I don't want to see him doing the same stuff now as an adult that, he did as a kid. That shtick has passed, but I don't know. What do you think of reboots? Do you enjoy them? Do you look forward to them? Or are you like me? Are you a crotchety old guy who says, just let things die, just let them go? We can look at them fondly. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, I'm a huge physical media collector. And so I have the King of the Hill series on DVD. So if I wanted to relive those, I'll watch the original run, which, as they say, you cannot beat the original run. So it doesn't matter. And especially when it comes to like animation, I mean, yeah, Mike Judge came back, like the whole cast came back, but it's still kind of not really the same. Their voices have changed, which rightfully so. Everybody's voice changes over time, but yeah. So I was disappointed, maybe. Again, I didn't have high hopes, so I guess it was kind of hard to be disappointed when you don't have high hopes, but. Yeah, I still see that when I go to Hulu. That's like, would you like to continue watching King of the Hill? I'm like, maybe someday, but that day is not today. So yeah, that's my little spiel on reboots. I know I hadn't talked to you guys in a couple weeks. With the change and with spring coming on, it's kind of scheduling has been up in the air, and there's been some other things going on as the weeks go on. I hope to explain a little further, but there's really, I don't know, there's still some things we're working on that need to get ironed out. There we go. I need to iron some things out, so I'm going to try to give you something. It may not be the best, but hey, if you've stuck around this long, we're not really giving you the best anyway. So, but I wanted to talk about. I was thinking, doing this next episode. I actually took some notes, so I'm not just going some freelance here where I'm kind of like, okay, now what do I talk about? There's one story I was thinking about that I wanted to share, which I was going to call it the tales of my last roommate. The Tales of Tate was the last roommate I had, which I don't know if anyone's ever had a roommate. Sometimes they start out good and then they, over time you live with someone long enough and it just kind of, you guys kind of get on each other's nerves. And I had this roommate. He was cool at first, and then, like I say, after a couple of years we got on each other's nerves. But if you know who I am, I like to antagonize people, and I like to, I don't know, rub people the wrong way and say things that may be inappropriate or do things that may not come across as, I don't know, kosher or whatever. But I was just thinking about this the other day, and I figured I'd share it with you and see what you have to say. And so I had this roommate. Like I said, there's a couple stories here that I'm gonna probably share over time, but we're just gonna start with this one because this one's one of my favorites. And so I was living with this guy, and I'd probably been living with him for a couple of years. I think we, all said and done, lived together 2.5 years. And this is probably just 2 years, maybe 2.25 years. We almost were done living together. And I should mention too at this time that my friends would always call him Master Tate. And it took me a couple months to figure out what, they're like, oh, where's Master Tate? And I'm the old moss, thinking it was some sort of, I don't know, just the simpleness of my brain sometimes. And once I got it, I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, so Master Tate had got this crossbow for his birthday, and he had didn't have the ability to put it together. Apparently, he couldn't string the crossbow right, and so he sat on this crossbow for probably about 4 months before he finally was able to take it to his dad. I think it was his dad, either his dad or stepdad. One of the two was able to string his crossbow for him, and he came home, and it wasn't like a high-end crossbow. It's one of those where you get at like a sporting goods store where it's decent, but it's you can't like hunt with it or anything. And so he finally gets this crossbow strung and brings it home, and he's so excited because he's been looking forward to shooting this thing for since he got it for his birthday. But the downside for him was he had to go to work. So he comes into my room and just all jubilant and just giddy and just excited and just like, yeah, I got my crossbow strung finally. I can't wait to shoot it when I get home from work, and it's going to be great. And I've been looking forward to this for like 4 months, and I just wanted to show you. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was like I say, we weren't like uncivil to each other, but I didn't really, I was just like, yeah, whatever, get out of my room type of thing. And so finally he goes to work, and one of my buddies comes over, and we start drinking, and he sees this crossbow on the coffee table. And so we had this basement that was unfinished, except for one wall had drywall on it. The rest of it was like stone, rock and stuff. And so anyway, so my buddy sees the crossbow, and we're about 5-6 beers into it already, and he was like, wow, when you get this? I'm like, oh, he got it for his birthday. Yeah, it just got strung like 2 days or today. It's been strung for a couple hours. What if we take it downstairs and fire it off a couple times, And so our original plan was just to take it downstairs and give it a couple test shots and, put it back upstairs and be done with it. So we grab it and we go downstairs and, cock the first arrow into it and shoot it. And, oh, okay, this is pretty fun. And, so we shoot it a couple more times and it goes right into the drywall, and it's pretty impressive, pretty fun. And so we, the beers are still flowing, and so we're coming up with crazy ideas. We draw some silhouette of a person on the wall, and so we start shooting at it, and next thing we know, a couple hours go by, and there's just holes all over the wall. Probably about 65 to 100 holes just from us shooting this thing for 60, 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours. No, I don't think it was 2 hours. Let's say it was about 90 minutes. We were just shooting this thing nonstop. All of a sudden, on one of the last shots, we are so in tune. We're having such a good time that 90 minutes go by, like I say, and so finally we get one shot, just trying to do some, cowboy cornball behind the back type of thing or whatever, and I shoot it one last time, and it breaks the string on his crossbow. It just snaps into a million pieces, and we're just kind of looking at each other, me and my buddy, and he goes, "Oh shit, that sucks." I'm like, "Yeah," and I go, "The funny thing is, he hasn't even shot it yet. He just got it strung today." Oh man, we laughed so hard because it was, he had been looking forward to shooting this thing for months, 3, 4, 5 months, however long it was before he finally got it strung, and here we are just clowning around with it and shooting it off, and we break the string, so we take it back upstairs and put it back where we found it on the coffee table, and go about our drinking, not still laughing about, oh man, this is gonna be funny. He's gonna be pissed when he gets home, and so sure enough, a couple hours later, he comes home, and I hear him because I had the basement room, and obviously the entranceway was upstairs, and so I hear the door open, and I hear him walking around, and then I hear him go, "What the fuck?" He comes trudging down the stairs. He's just pissed, holding this crossbow with his snap string on. He's like, "What the fuck happened to this?" And we're just kind of giggling and laughing. And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. We only shot it like twice." It just broke. And he's like, "Jesus Christ, this thing's a piece of shit." And yeah, we're like, "Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It just kind of happened." And yeah, 2, 3 times. And, so we're laughing. And so he goes upstairs thinking, okay, well, I guess I have a shoddy piece of equipment. It wasn't my stupid roommate that had broken the string, and so we're laughing. And a couple days go by because when we were shooting in the basement, like this basement really had nothing in it. So we, it wasn't like a storage room or anything where he, or like when we would go into regularly. I used it because it was literally down the hall from my room. Well, then a couple days go by, and I don't know, he had to go down there for something, and he sees the wall. He just sees the 60 to 100, 65 to 100 holes in the wall, and he comes banging on my door again. He's like, "What the hell, man? How come all those holes are in the wall?" And so, long story short, I was just kind of like, I don't know what to tell you, man. We just shot it a couple times, and your thing broke. And he's like, "We got to buy me a new one." I'm like, yeah, I'll get right on that. And fast forward a couple months later, and I never bothered that, and I ended up moving out. So, but yeah, I forget how that memory got jogged into my brain, but that always makes me laugh whenever I think about my buddy and I breaking my roommate's crossbow for the first time he got it strung, and he never had the chance to shoot it. So I was like, well, if it makes you feel any better, it was a fun toy. So thanks for that. But yeah, so that's that was a good one. I'm in a hotel room right now, or else I would have been able to express a little louder, and I don't want to piss off my neighbors, get a bang on the room or not, the wall, the adjoining wall, because I can hear their alarm go off in the morning, and I'm pretty sure they might be able to hear me talking right now. So then it is kind of late, but you know, I'm being somewhat courteous. So, but yeah, so that's one of the tales of Tate. There's quite a few that I'm going to spring on you as the coming episodes come along here. So, but there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. I found this to be very amusing, and I figured I'd share it with you. I received, I think I'm going to call it the spam email of the day. This email was incredibly hilarious, and it made me laugh, and I loved it. So anyway, so I'm going to read it to you real quick because it's just too funny. It's like, hello, my name is Mrs. Grande Ariana. I am dying woman who has decided to donate what I have to the charities. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so bear with me. I am 59 years old and was diagnosed for cancer about 4 years ago, immediately after the death of my husband. I have been touched to donate from what I have inherited from my late husband for the good work rather than allow his relatives to lavish my husband's hard-earned fund. As I lay on my sickbed, I want you to help me in carrying out my last wish on earth, which will also be very profitable to you. I want to will, this is in capital letters, a total sum of 13.2 million United States dollars to you, which I want you to distribute part of it to any charity home for me and the rest for yourself and your family. I will inform you how to share all. Please kindly get back to me for more details. And actually, here's the email address, so if you want to shoot her an email, maybe she'll send you this email. This email address is grandeariana91@gmail.com. And best regards, Mrs. Grande Ariana. So I read that, and I'm sure, like you get a lot of spam mail. I get tons of spam mail, which spam mail is so easy to figure out. You know, when my PayPal account is being blocked, I need to reinstated or whatever. I'm like, well, that's great. I don't have a PayPal account, or my iCloud account has been suspended. Whatever. Don't have one of those either. But I love the idea that I could inherit, well, maybe not all the $13.2 million, but I can get in touch with Mrs. Ariana Grande. Or no, sorry, Mrs. Grande Ariana. Yeah, okay. I think you could come up with something a little more original than that. I almost want to create another dummy email account and see, but then again, I don't want to even bother because you never know what that email account's hooked up to, what kind of spam you could get flooded with. I mean, it's spam to begin with, but it kind of makes me wonder, had this email gone to someone who may not be as savvy or sniff out spam or hoaxes or bogus, bullshit or anything like that. Somebody sees that and gets their hopes up. Oh, I want to be rich. That's kind of like the Sonny Prince emails from a couple years ago, where if you send me, I don't know, $1,000 or whatever, I will send you riches beyond your wildest dreams. Yeah, okay, well, if that's the case, why do I have to send you money for you to send me riches? I don't know. And there's like this one. Why do I have to distribute your wealth? Can't you figure out a charity you want to, shit, you have cancer, donate it to the Cancer Society of America or American Cancer Society and be done with it, or I don't know. So I just thought that was entertaining, that not only did I get an email from Miss Grande Ariana, but it was the possibility for my wildest dreams to become true. But yeah, so I don't know. I've actually gotten a couple spam emails that, if you enjoy hearing my the spam emails I got, maybe I'll start reading some more to you here, and we can have a good laugh at them at the same time. But so, all right, so we're about 25 and a half minutes into it. I wanted to do this last week because I hate going a couple weeks without at least saying hi or letting you know what's going on. We got some things to work out. I'll be a little more clear as I know more. I'll let you know more. So I'll just say scheduling issues right now are kind of creating a little log jam on our recordings. So until we can get that figured out, I want to probably stick with the one-on-one format here, just so I can get you something, so you don't have to go, long without hearing whatever stupid shit I got to say for the week. So, but yeah, so thanks for spending some one-on-one time with your buddy Tim. And the Arnold are still on podcast. We'll get more episodes out to you. I don't know. We'll get some more episodes out. It just, like I say, there's just some things we gotta iron out real quick. But don't worry, we haven't abandoned that idea. So, but yeah, so hope you all have a great week, and I will try to talk to you next week. If not, I will definitely be back in 2 weeks. So until then, take care.